Oh, wait, I'm a little small. Hi, hello, it's me, the local of the ritual of the bakers. Hi, hello. My God, I don't think I have streamed in actually a hot minute, actually. Wait, I'm gonna check real quick. Jeez, I can't keep track. I haven't streamed, oh my God, I haven't streamed for 9 days ago! Oh my God, jeez. Well, hey, how are y'all doing? Hi. I feel great. I feel grand. Um, hey, I'm sorry, I just haven't been streaming that much because got medication. I'm medicated now. Yeah. Antidepressants feel great now. Whoa. So hi, hello. Hi there, Sue. Hi. Hello, I hope you are having a grandiose, wonderful Lolo day. Today, we're going to be doing some stuff. We're going to be doing some things. Hold on, I'm going to put some BGM on real quick. But, we are going to be making Croissant Curry today. Yeah, I'm quite interested on how we're going to make this, just because I'm of the mindset of like, oh, croissant curry. Making a croissant should be something that is not the day beforehand. That should be something the day beforehand, not the day of. Croissants and curries and stuff like that are something that it has to be the day of, you know? It has to be. Also, I have a new monitor, and my model is so perfectly 60 FPS. It's beautiful. And I noticed on my other monitor, which is older, oh my God, mine is so crazy. It makes me want to go buy the same monitor again. But anyways, hi lads. I hope you're ready for an extremely long stream today because I have made a mistake. We are streaming this at 4. Baking bread usually takes around an hour or maybe 2. So this is gonna be a very long stream. And also, it's kind of funny because making curry, it's so easy. Dumb easy. Stupid easy. I can make that within 30 minutes. It is that easy. So, yeah. So, is the curry served with croissant or curry with croissant in it? So, technically, it has a croissant inside of it. Hold on, let me see if I have a picture I can grab real quick. Let's see. Do I have the picture of this? I don't. Oh, wait. Curry. Oh, it's so. Alright. Okay. I got the picture. I got the thing. I'm gonna take out the silly smartboard out now, and, there we go. Here it is. This is the Croissant Curry. It is a monstrosity. It is a ethnic bash and clash of many things. Because it is Japanese curry, Japanese curry. It is croissant. And yeah, it's a mixed jam pack of French and Japanese cuisine. But I also want to explain how funny this is. Because when I looked up recipes, because I don't have a recipe for croissants on the back of my hand, that stuff is way too expensive to make. And also, I don't have a curry recipe on the back of my hand because I've never made a brown curry before. Made my reds, made my greens, I've made other corns and carrots and all that whatnot, but I've never made a brown curry. Looked up a recipe, kinda gotta run with it, with some minor adjustments because I don't feel like paying too much money. But yeah, it is gonna be a very simple sort of ordeal. What is brown curry? Brown curry. So, I'll explain the other curries so it makes more sense. So, you have red curry. Red curry is usually made with red curry paste, has coconut cream and all that stuff. It's made with more red chilies and whatnot. It's supposed to be a little bit more spicy, a little bit more, well, red. It's simple. You know, it's like a very simple in my head curry. Green curry can tend to be a bit more spicy. It uses green chilies. It uses a lot of stuff like lemongrass and stuff like that, so it's a little bit more zesty. Not really. It uses lime leaves and this and that. It has a little bit more flavor. Like, I like to think that red curry is like vanilla ice cream because it's kind of the basic curry. And then green curry is like the chocolate, if you will. And Japanese curry or brown curry, traditionally, normally, I believe brown curry in Japan is brown curry. Brown curry is usually a curry that has those little curry blocks. But the main difference between like brown curry versus like, I guess, the other curries use a thickener, are a little bit more loose. And they do have a thickener, quote unquote, but it's mostly reduction and usually the use of coconut cream. But even at that, it's not really going to thicken up too much. But brown curry is unique because it uses a root. Gluten intolerances be damned. But yeah, brown curry, it's a little bit more, it uses a brown roux, which is fun to make. I love making brown roux because you have to essentially burn roux. It's great. It feels wrong to do such a simple thing, especially as a cook as myself. It is weird. It's strange. But aside from that, the only color named curries I know are Thai. Yeah, Thai green curries and stuff like that. Like, I will also mention right now, my scope when it comes to curry is very minimal. Because, like, I think of red curries, I think of green curries, and I think of brown curries. I don't know if there's any other sort of curries. If you want to say, like, butter chicken, I guess. But, like, usually in my head, curries are either red, brown, or green. And even green is kind of being generous, because the green curry is green. But it's called green curry. Aside from that, brown curry, let me look here, I'm looking up. We have brown curry. Brown curries, has more specific spices or roux base. Yeah, it's more Indian, Japanese, stuff like that. But the main difference between brown curries versus red and green curries is that it uses a roux. It uses a flour thickener and stuff like that. So it is supposed to be not like pasty, but it's gonna be a little bit more thickened. It's gonna be more like flourily thickened, I guess, which is a weird thing to say out loud because it doesn't make sense to say flour thicky, because flour thicky is such a weird thing to say out loud that you will not understand unless you know the difference between that flour thicky, flurry thicky, and then like reduction thicky. You just kind of have to go with what I'm saying today. Trust me, take me. I'm not the best when it comes to making all the curries. I actually will say I make a pretty damn good green curry. I try to make it as nicely as I can. Probably not extremely authentic because I usually food processor it's easy. But aside from all those curries, the main subject of today's thing is brown curry. And I have made red curry at home, I've made red curry at home, but once more, I've never made a brown curry before. I have looked up a recipe. I'm currently actually waiting on something to get an ingredient. There is one specific ingredient I'm looking for when it comes to making curry that I don't usually have. Well, actually, no. Called garam masala. Very crucial, very good stuff when it comes to making curry, period. I just don't have it right now. So, yeah. But aside from all this curry talk, it's gonna be very important, yes. But the main thing we talk about curry and all this whatnot, well, at least for today, we're talking about like, oh, the brown curry and this and that. The truth of the matter, actually, like what is going to be the most important thing that we try and make today is actually going to be the croissant. Croissants are so difficult to make, and as we all know, making bread takes a long time to make. Making bread the right way, because there is a wrong way to make it, the right way to make bread is making sure it takes enough time so it has enough time to rise and lower and all that stuff. So, do you have the components of garam masala? No, because garam masala is a spice, I believe. Wait, it's a blend? Wait, I'm stupid as hell then. Wait, why did I waste money on buying this? Wait, I could have just made, yeah. I'm stupid. It's a mixture of spices of which you may have. Yeah. Yeah. I'm stupid. I thought Garrett, my excuse is that I'm whitewashed. That's all I gotta say. Anyways. But hey, aside from all that and whatnot, the more important thing that we have to talk about today is making the croissant. I have looked up no, that's not it. That's not it. This is it. This is the recipe that I'm going to be using today to making the croissant. It is simple, basic, straightforward, to the point. I believe I have used this recipe once or twice before when I had to make croissants for another thing, or just want to make croissants for fun. I will say I do not remember fully, but that is not going to stop me from making what I want to make today, which is a croissant. So yes, just gotta write it all down real quick. It's quite funny because I look at this recipe and it is actually very, very straightforward. Which is nice to see from a recipe. It's like very simple. Hydration percentage is actually fairly low, which makes it a little bit easier to work with. But the thing that here's the main thing when it comes to making croissant. Croissant is not a hard thing to make. It is making the dough that is very, very specific, which I get. That's like the entire thing of making a croissant. That is the entire thing. It's the dough. But like rolling it and this and that, it's not the hardest thing to do. The hardest thing to do is the lamination, which is just the big thing when it comes to making a croissant. Yeah. That is a very specific quantity of butter, I guess. But, let's see here. Yeah, so this is gonna be the issue about making croissant. First, I'm just gonna say croissant because I'm not French. Goddamn Korean. So, croissant, whatever you want to say. Be mad at me in the comments, I guess, or in chat. However you're watching this. Croissants are laminated doughs. Laminated doughs are such a bastard to do because they are very, very difficult to do. So, let's get right into this. We are gonna make our dough. We're gonna start making our stuff and things, and I'm gonna try to do it by hand. But if I feel extra lazy today, don't be surprised that I actually decided to take out the mixer. Alright, let's get to the kitchen. Okay. Also, I gotta do a real quick thing here because I'm a little anxious. I want to make sure this is good right now. And good thing I did check. Because... Hello? Alright, okay, good. For some reason, my microphone was getting...
There we go. Okay, for some reason, my microphone was connected to a different mic. But, yeah, let's get on to this, yes? Enough talking, enough banter, let's actually start doing some silly things here.
Alright, cool. Fine.
Yeah, I had a feeling that whatchamacallit, I had a funny feeling, just a feeling in my back of my head that the thing wasn't exactly correct. So, we are going to start making this croissant now. It is very simple, it is very straightforward. I don't think there's anything that I need to explain. It is flour, sugar, yeast, salt, and water. You can't get much more simpler than that, now can yous? Alright. Okay, so just because I want to be preemptively ready in case that I do decide to be lazy, I will make this in my mixing bowl. But hopefully, I will not resort to such lazy things. We will see in due time. Okay, I will also mention... Hold on. When it comes to making a croissant, you want to take your time. There's stuff like this and that where you want to do like overnight rests and this and that. Unfortunately, I'm very lazy. Well, not lazy, I just want to rush this a little bit, honestly. So, we're going to be doing some shortcuts today. And I guess if I'm teaching you if I'm going to teach us some bad habits, I'll at least explain why I'm doing said bad habits. Because sometimes when you're in a pinch, it is nice to have a little bit of tricks up your sleeve to make things a little faster. Case in point of what I'm trying to do right now. I don't like using warm water when it comes to making breads because I like slow fermentations which increase flavors and all that whatnot, but we're gonna cheat a little bit today. Speed is the name of the game, so I'm going to be using lukewarm body temp water. 300 grams? There we go. 300 grams of water. I also should put on my apron. I don't want to get myself messy here. Holy crap, I'm on time. Oh my god, about time you're on time. Jeez, it only took me to do a stream at 4:30. Hi Lung, hi, nice to see you here. Okay, I hope... I was gonna say, my god, I hope I have yeast, and I do. Okie doke. So, not gonna lie, I thought I would miss this. How would you miss this? This is on a Sunday night. At 4:30. I digress. Anyways, you do you. I'm not gonna bother you with your stuff and whatnot. But now we have to measure out some yeast. Since speed is once more the name of the game, I am actually going to let this yeast actually bloom. Blooming the yeast, in my opinion, when it comes to instant active dry yeast at least, I don't really care about letting it bloom, because it's gonna just get active right away. It's instant active, it's kind of designed to be that way, but letting it bloom a little bit will help slightly. Once more, the name of the game of today is speed. Not much quality, but we're going for speed here. I thought it was gonna happen while I was at work. Gotta remember that my browser clock is stuck in EST. Oh, speaking of time and all that whatnot, make sure you guys are very aware about tonight. Do you know what tonight is? Or at least the lads that are in America. Daylight savings, we get an extra hour of sleep, woohoo! Alright. Let's see here. Now we need 480 grams. $480 of flour. Bread flour specifically. Which I'm actually quite surprised. When it comes to I don't know what to say here. When it comes to making a croissant, I would imagine you want to use an all-purpose flour. All-purpose flours, I imagine, would make it a lot more fluffy. But I guess a better croissant in my head is something that's nice and chewy and crispy and crunchy, and those are kind of the the characteristics of bread flour. So, also, I'm not sure if that's a commonly known thing, but each kind of flour does have their own sort of significance in a sense. They have their sort of their plays and whatnot. Like, oh, why would I not want to use this flour versus this flour? It's a very big thing when it comes to, what is it? Cookies, specifically. Here, well, I gotta really quickly, It's a very big thing when it comes to... I'm not sure if that worked. It's a very big thing when we talk about... What is it? When we talk about flours, like bread flour or what's that? So anyways, when it comes to making like chocolate chip cookies, there are some people that use cake flour, there are some people that use bread flour, there are some people that use all-purpose, and honestly I'm kind of in between of using bread and all-purpose. Bread flour has more gluten will make things more crusty and crunchy. All-purpose is in the middle, while cake flour makes stuff nice and soft and tender. So there's different use cases for each flours, depending on what it may be. Daylight savings already happened? Really? Really? Oh, I don't believe you. Oh my god, you're right. Oh, okay. It already happened? I did it. I realized it. I thought it was tonight. Anyways, well yippee. Yay. Usually the way I check if my if daylight savings did happen, I usually look at my microwave, because that thing, it has to be manually done, which is a touch annoying, but it at least helps me with one thing that happens bi-yearly. Yippee. Oh jeez. Alright. Gonna add some salt now. I think you only need like 10 grams. There we go. Daylight savings already happened though. Does it happen at a specific time? Because I didn't even realize. Was it this morning? I thought it was gonna happen tomorrow morning. In like tomorrow in the sense of like 12, but I digress. Anyways, jeez. Talk about whiplash for me. Alright, so just gonna throw in this stuff and whatnot, and we're gonna get right to it. I gotta try and be a little careful today when it comes to cooking and whatnot, just because I did some silly stuff at work today, in the sense that I did some really stupid stuff today. For one thing, I'll tell you a fun thing that I did today, accidentally. When I was frying some stuff to make some eggplant parmesan, because it's something I have to do and get ready for, as I was frying it today, I was using the fryer, obviously, but I took out the frying baskets, because the frying baskets limit the amount of space I can use. So what I end up doing is that, okay, well, the most logical thing to use is my pair of tongs. Fortunately for me, my pair of tongs are quite short. They're a lot like this, but surprisingly shorter. Like, I would say they're like to right here. They're pretty short. But the main issue about the tongs is that they're so short. It's hard to gauge. Hard to gauge, because my muscle memory is more used to the tongs I have over there. So when I was frying the eggplants in the fryer, I kind of overestimated my reach, and next thing you know it, as I'm kind of, oh, the screen froze. Oh, I just realized the screen froze, hold on. There we go. Okay, so anyways, yeah, so my tongs, they're usually to right here, the ones I have at my job. They're up to right here. I'm used to using tongs that are at least this long, maybe a little longer. But the main thing is that when I was, you know, frying the eggplant and whatnot, I overestimated and I accidentally decided to fry my finger. It was great, let me tell you. Don't you just love accidentally frying your fingers in the hot 350-degree oil? By the way, this was my finger. The burn's all gone at this point, but my god, burning your hands, it never gets any better. So yeah, I burnt my hands today, not once, but, well, technically twice, because I also burnt my middle finger right here. I deep fried my finger and a half here. It was fun. I love deep fried fingers, but more of the chicken kind, yeah? Chicken fingers. I decided to do fingers. Anyways. Alright. I've officially gotten too lazy, and once more when I said speed is key today, I'm actually gonna throw this in the mixer. But that's actually good because I actually gotta go grab something. So. I also got another injury, but I'll tell you that when I get back. Alright chat, I'll be back. Watch this for me. Watch Wheatley for me. I'll be right back, okay? Don't go. I'll be right back. I'll be back, I promise. I'm not getting milk. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I have the garam masala. Yes, wait, I think my thing froze again. Okay, so anyways, okay, whew. Garam masala. There it is. That's the thing I was looking for. That's the thing I got now. Now we're gonna be able to make brown curry correctly. Kinda. Okay, well, we got that now. And yeah. Well, I guess the other thing I need to do is kind of measure out the butter then, yeah? One second. Okie doke. I am room in here. I gotta now move this into my fridge. Alright. Anyways. Scale, no longer we need. No more scale. Actually, wait, I keep forgetting. Yes, we need scale. We need scale. We need scale, come back. So, we have to measure out butter. Because we have to measure out butter that we're going to use for the croissants. Now, the fun thing about doing that is that when we measure this out, we're going to have to roll it out into a thin, flat sheet. That will make sense in due time, but ignore that for now. So I got some butter here. It is nicely and softened. Very important thing, to make a better croissant at least. The higher fat content, the better. So you need to get more of a high quality butter, or something like Kerrygold, if you will. This isn't exactly Kerrygold, but it's pretty damn close. It's a very high quality, very fatty butter. So this should be good enough. Essentially, the better the fat, the more flavorful your croissant's gonna be, because as you all should know, fat equals flavor, and butter has flavor. So more butter, more flavor. Make sense? Okay. The nice thing when it comes to making a croissant, though, the butter at least, you don't have to be extremely exact with it, just exact enough. And hi there. Hi there. Thank you for the follow on Twitch. I can't see your name exactly because I do not have access to it. But hi, welcome in. Alright. So here is our butter here, and I'm just going to kind of press it out by hand as best as I can, and then realize I'm stupid. Because I should get my fancy rolling pin. Yeah, this will do just nicely. Yeah, the goal of this right now is that I'm trying to roll this out to a at least semi-even sort of ordeal. It has to be like one nice thin sheet of butter. But it's kind of funny because doing it in a bag like this makes it a tad difficult. But anyways, I digress. But I can also see right here, like there is a little bit of, not leakage, but it's a little bit thin there, and and I don't really want that like that. It needs to be at least kind of consistent. And oh, it's concave here. Whoopsie. The French be damned, because the proper way of doing this is using parchment paper, actually. Yeah, not only am I gonna bastardize the Japanese, Indians, and I guess the British in some regards, but the British people are white, so they're fine. But, what is it? I'm gonna be bastardizing French technique as well, especially when it comes to baking pastry like this. Making croissants. Making a croissant is like making... Well, just croissants are very, very high-end. You know, not high-end, but like very basic, but... Classic? Very classic, I believe. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. I'm not very smart. You should all know this. Anyways, that is even enough. I hope there's no actual French bakers in chat. They would probably crucify me and then kill me. Anyways, into the refrigerator this goes. I should probably freeze it, no? Get cooler faster here. Oof, that's gonna be rough, but anyways, there we go. That is the best that we can do right now for the croissants. The French use the guillotine, not the cross. Touché. That's honest. Actually, I mean, what's worse, getting your head chopped off or being crucified? Because one is bad because you're going to be sitting there and your arms are going to dislocate and it's just going to be a painful, slow death. But also, the idea of using a guillotine, it might be quick, but there will be some time to where you will have some semblance of consciousness, and that idea with being disattached to your head is quite terrifying. So, I'm not sure. I think I'd rather be... It's like long and painful or the most humanly horrifying thing I can think of. I don't know. Well, you know what? Good thing I'm just not human. Anyways, let's start working on the next thing. The next thing we're gonna have to try and make here. So the next thing we are going to make is brown curry cubes. I don't know how to explain this. Well, I know how to explain it, but like, I don't know, wording, you know, you guys should know that talking is not my thing. Anyways. One. Alright, so sorry, I had to pull up the recipe because I don't really remember this to heart. This is the first time I'm making it, so anyways, making this curry, we have to make a roux. So with this extra butter I have, which is what I'm about to do is sacrilege in most regards because this is high quality butter and using it for such a simple, lowly thing. Come on. There we go. Using it for such a simple and lowly thing, it seems almost like a waste. But I am American. That is my unbridled duty to waste things. Okay, anyways. Now going to measure out a bit of flour. It has to be even parts butter and flour. Using all purpose for this because I like my bread flour. Even though on paper I have more bread flour than I do all-purpose flour. Like, this is all the all-purpose flour I have left. But that shows you how much I love my bread flour versus the all-purpose flour. Anyways. So, I would like to believe that you all are at least human. I wouldn't know. I'm just assuming because I've worked with a lot of humans in my life before. In my very short life as a simple AI. But I would like to assume that you lads that hopefully know how to cook know what a roux is. So, what I am doing with that, it's actually quite simple from what this is showing me. It's just kind of roux, it's butter, flour, and then you add spices, and then you cook it down. Now, I didn't fully read the recipe because I'm really bad at reading, as y'all know. So I'm deciding one of two things. Do I want to make the roux first, or do I want to toast all of the whatnot? Do I want to toast all the seasonings and stuff? Although it's ground, do I want to toast it in the butter to make it more aromatic and flavorful and stuff like that? But the thing about that is that it would probably burn before that would happen, because making a brown roux requires a lot of cooking, to say simply. All-purpose flour, which is used only for special purposes. You know, it's kind of funny, because, like, I use my bread flour for pretty much everything. I do use it for chocolate chip cookies, and they're usually the best cookies I ever make. But it's funny how my bread flour is kind of like my all-purpose in a sense. No? Anyways, I am going to be making this brown roux now. Now, I guess I should explain that, because that is something I can explain, because that's not really common knowledge, I believe. Unless you're, like, from the South, and you know how to make good gumbo and stuff like that. Because then, if that's the case, you should be all too familiar with brown roux. Or how, I guess some people would say even crimson roux, or, like, red roux. Because you burn it so much that it pretty much gets dark and crimson-y and dark and stuff like that. Like, this is technically a white roux. You're gonna use this for sauces that are, you know, whiter. So like your bechamels, your milk sauces and stuff like that. And then there's a blonde roux, which gets to when this gets a little bit more cooked and it has a little bit more of a blonde color, a little bit more caramelized sort of color and whatnot. You'll see it, you'll notice the difference. But then we're going for an illustrious brown roux. The issue about making a brown roux is that it can burn very quickly, so I gotta be a little careful about that. But the thing about each roux, they have their ups and downs and their use cases and all that whatnot. Brown roux have the most deepened flavor. They have a very nice nuttiness, they have a nice toasted flavor of the butter, and the flour gets nice and toasted, but it doesn't have the most thickening power. On that same other side of the spectrum, white roux will have no flavor, minimal flavor. The more flavor is mostly from the butter, but you'll have a very good amount of thickening power. So yeah, I'm not gonna mess with that too much. I wanna let that get nice roasty and toasty. And anyways, I'm going to measure out the other ingredients here to make this brown roux. Okay, so I also did just notice that I know I don't have enough of this other ingredient here. I didn't think I was gonna need this much, but I saw some curry powder. Apparently you're supposed to be using a Japanese sort of esque curry powder, and I'm not gonna lie, I could not be bothered trying to look into that. I am what people in the industry would say, like, call lazy. So I'm just going to use this average, very simple curry powder. So I'm gonna use I think I'm gonna use, like, I'm having this recipe, so I need to do 1.5 tablespoons of curry powder. Then I need to use 1/2 tablespoon of garam masala, which is kind of funny because I have so much garam masala now. The one thing I hate about buying so many spices and whatnot when it comes to something like this, I don't use that much. And then I don't want to say I waste it, but it just kind of sits. Oh, by the way, we're getting to that point to where it's kind of a blonde-esque roux, but we're getting to the point to where we're transitioning from blonde to brown at this point. So, we're already almost there. The nice thing about making a brown roux, you're just trying to you're trying to burn roux. Okay, and cayenne, half a teaspoon. So, I ain't no bitch, by the way. I love my spice. I like a bit of capsaicin. So I'm not having that I'm not having that. I'm making that almost pretty much double of what it should be then. There we are. And if you've been paying attention, this roux has turned into a nice white to a blonde to now a brown. Now this is kind of a subjective thing. Sometimes some people will make it even darker. The more darker, the more deepened the flavor will be. Though you gotta be careful because you don't want to obviously burn it. But burning it would require it to be black. When it is black, it is burnt. When it is brown or anything like this, chocolatey color, perfectly fine. Now I would say, oh, you know what'd be nice? To taste and see how it is. But like, tasting roux is so redundant and dangerous because you're putting like, you're taking fryer oil, making it into a paste, and putting it on your tongue. I don't think you need to do the math to see how that could be stupid. But anyways, smelling it, it's nice and toasted. It's very nutty. It's almost like, you know, like when you get popcorn and you have those like little bits of toasty, like nice toasty bits of popcorn that taste so great? Because it's, once more, I'm using this word a lot, it's very toasted. That's pretty much what that taste is what this smells like. Anyways, I'm gonna put the spices in now. I'm hoping that this does one of two things. One, this toasts the spices, the dry spices, because it is, what is it? The oil's hot, it's piping hot. But also I'm hoping that this also, in a weird way, cools down the roux, because as this cools down, it will, what is it? As it cools down, I mean, it will just help it to cool down, that's all. That's what I'm trying to say. And it smells very fragrant. Like, the aroma right now is very nice. Very strong, with all those curry-esque flavors. The coriander, the cumin. I don't know why I touched that. Love touching things that are incomprehensibly hot, because I love hurting myself, I guess. Especially burning myself. Why? But this smells like an amazing, fantastic, like, curry already. Very excited to see how this turns out. So yeah, that is going to be our curry roux. This is probably enough for like 2 portions, maybe 3 if you want to push it. But yeah, just like that, I have made a brown roux that you could probably buy at the store. And you don't have to do all this and that to get to this trouble. But I'm extra, and I want to show yous. This is an option at least. Now I also will say I'm actually kind of sad to make brown curry today because when I did go to Japan, one of the foods I was able to try, and I was very happy that I got to try it, was brown curry. I've had my red curries, I have my green curries, and that's pretty much it really. Those are the only 2 curries I've had. I had a soy sauce curry, but that was weird. You can take a guess why a soy sauce curry is weird. But I never had the opportunity to try a brown curry. But I was able to go get my hands and try a brown curry, and my god, it was so deep in flavor, the toasted flavors and whatnot, the aroma and the spice that I got too was perfect. It was delicious. It was great. But that was such a high bar to be set now, because now I haven't had brown curry ever since I went back to America, and now it's like there's a high bar here, and I gotta try and do better, or I'm just gonna be sad. So I'm hoping that this brown curry is gonna turn out nice. Freeze the excess roux? Yes, you can do that. Because usually when you buy roux, when you buy the curry little things, you know, the little curry pods you can buy, that's this. That is this. It is a thickening agent that is spiced. That is what a curry roux, those curry little things, those curry tablets are. This. So, yeah. I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator for now, because the thing about roux, it's best to add them when it is cold. So, well, it depends on who you ask. But I'm of the idea that using roux, it is best to add roux into something of a different temperature, if that makes sense. So like, let's say you have a boiling pot of water, and you want to thicken it with roux, because you're a psychopath. Why would you want to thicken water with a roux? I digress. But if you wanted to do that, it's best to do it when it is at a different temperature, because if you do it when it's boiling hot, it has a higher chance to, what's the word here? It has a higher chance to clump up and get clumpy and not really a nice smooth texture. So I like to use, do it when it's at least hot and then cold. There are some times where you can do boiling hot and then like lukewarm, and that works just fine. But the main gist is that different temperatures. And this doesn't have to be exact when I say different temperatures. It can be like hot, and then boiling hot. And then it can be like cold, ice cold, and then hot. There's no science behind it. It's just... Anyways, the croissant dough is ready to go. It's an improvement on plain water. No. If you want thick water, you get thicket. I think it's called thicket. Thicket. We're going with thicket. I'm assuming it's called thicket. It is a brand of water that is thick. I don't need to explain it any more than what that is. Okay. So, here is cornstarch or agar. I believe it uses a slurry solution of some sort. Might be agar, just because fancier, I guess. I don't know. But Thicket is a actual not store brand, but it's a brand of thick water that you can buy at the stores. I believe I saw it in in a ShopRite or something like that. So it's not uncommon, to say at the very least. Anyways, now I'm gonna do one of my least favorite things when it comes to making bread and whatnot. Rolling out doughs. I don't know. I don't like doing this just because I don't feel like rolling out stuff. I just don't like to. It makes me mildly irritated. Now, speaking of irritation, I'm kind of annoyed because I forgot how to do a laminated dough. I haven't done a laminated dough in so long that I kinda feel like I need to go watch a video real quick. I mean, lads, what do you think? Do you think I should go watch a video so I don't screw up this already screwed up croissant recipe because I am going really quick? Or do I just want to say, fuck it, we ball? Chat, do we ball, or do we look up recipe and look up the proper method and technique? What's the deal? What do you lads think? We roll? Oh right, you know what? We ball. Let's go. Apparently, thicket is modified cornstarch. Of course, you gotta modify corn more than it already is. Because modified corn is not enough. You got corn is not enough. You gotta modify it even more. Of course. Okay, so I believe how this is done though. All I know when it comes to rolling out the dough, the first roll should encompass the entire thing and it should be folded like an envelope. That is pretty much all I can remember. And another important thing when it comes to making this dough, you want to really make sure the gluten is developed, which it isn't. Because tears in the dough will ruin the overall aesthetic of the croissant. So yeah, I'm not excited for what I must do, but we roll. All right, and here is my sheet of butter. It has actually kind of hardened a little bit quicker than I'd like it to. Okay. Now the nice thing about these bags is that they're reusable bags. So I can just not reusable, they're single-use bags. So I can just kind of peel away at the plastic and I just tear it at once. And there we go, lovely. We got our haphazardly made sheet of butter. And I'm gonna flip it like this. And try and peel as much as I can off. I was gonna say, you know, I probably should have greased the butter so it doesn't stick to the bag. But then I realized that would be an extremely stupid, redundant thing to do. And if you need me to explain why, I would like you to use your brain for just a few moments, please. If you need me to explain it, I will. Greased butter. Exactly. Thank you. So anyways, envelope style. And there we go. That is our first fold when it comes to the croissant. Now I'm concerned because, as I've said, the most important thing about making a croissant is making sure the gluten has developed nicely. Guess what? It hasn't been developed nicely at all. I think we've probably only given this maybe a few minutes to set, and that is not enough time. Simply said. But this is already ruined because I planned on not even letting this rest for today. I mean, overnight. Oh. Fell down. That's not good. There's an air bubble too. Oy. That's not good. Air bubbles are gonna make it really hard. Fine. Alright. First lamination, there we go. Should have greased the air. I mean, you know what? When you're right, you're right. I really should have greased the air. But yeah, I'm doing the croissants this way because the butter is still obviously very cold. But just because it's cold doesn't mean it's malleable. Just like some abusive parents, they might be cold, but you can still beat them up. And I definitely now have at least beaten it up enough to, what is it? To where I can start rolling it a little bit now. Ooh, okay, this is gonna be a bit of a task with my phone wanting to fall down. Anyways, but the idea when it comes to lamination, so when you do a lamination, you do one fold, then you got 2 folds of butter. You roll it out again, you do another fold, now you got 4 folds of butter. You fold it again, you get 8, then you get 16, 32, 64, 128, etc. and etc. So that's why lamination is a very difficult thing to do. Because in concept, on paper, the more folds you do, the more layers of butter you get. And the more layers of butter, the more layers you get, and it's a lot more crispy and a more pleasant experience to eat. It gives you more flavor, it gives you more flake and this and that. I love laminated doughs. They're so delicious, they're tasty, and they're not only just limited to just making croissants. You can make danishes, fruit danishes. You can make elephant ears, I think they're called. I don't really know the name of it, so to say. But it's like you essentially roll up these little things and then you put like brown sugar in it. Oh my god, it's so good. It's crispy, it's crunchy, it's sweet. Everything I would want when it comes into a pastry. And now I also realize that I could actually be doing trifolds, and that actually is a lot better because instead of just doing 1 and then doing 2 and then 3 and then 4, we're now doing 3. So then that now we have from like 2 to 4. Now that 4 times 3, I think. No, 4 times. It's 4 to the power of 3. So that's 4. That's 16. I don't know my powers to 4. I don't know what is it, calculus that much, or algebra. I guess I don't know. Hey, does anyone know what 3 to the power of 3 is? And could you look that up for me? Because I'm too lazy. I'm baking right now. Because essentially, if you get that number, 27, we now have 27 layers when we could have had 16. And that is a drastic change, if you do ask me. Okay, now we have 16, 27, and this is an issue right here. Since I'm also just being very aggressive generally to this, it's just kind of bound to happen. But I do want to try and mitigate that and try and not have that happen that often. Because once more, it ruins the layering, the rise, and all that whatnot. It's funny, because like when I do talk about all this stuff when it comes to croissants and whatnot, I honestly don't know what I'm talking about. I just kind of just go off like basic, I'm just intuiting it in a sense. Once more, it's just funny to me just because I know I could have probably taken a class or something like that. And I would probably be able to learn this a lot better and then give a better explanation. But I am all but a simple guy. I am not a real baker. As I keep trying to tell yous, I'm not a real baker. I'm not even a good baker. I'm a home baker, which isn't a bad thing, but alright, you know what? I'm just gonna put you here, Mr. Phone. 81 layers? You know what? I think that might be good enough for me, actually. So now, the thing is, we've been beating up this dough quite a lot. It is going through a lot of mayhem, it's going through a lot of beatings. So it actually is a very good idea for us to do, for us to give it a simple rest. It is still bread, a dough at the end of the day, and usually most doughs need time to rest. The more you play with it, the more it kind of like seizes on itself. That being said though, I do want to make this at least square-like. It is supposed to have thousands of layers? Yes. It should have thousands of layers. But I will also let you know they have proper machines, they have proper equipment, they have proper bread doughs, and they have a proper amount of time. Once more, time is of the essence today, as I would like to have dinner. Essentially, I would like to have dinner today, so that is the main reason to why I want to hurry this up. Rush. 3 to the power of 7, 2,187. All right, perfect. We're there. We're at 1,000 layers. We're at more than we have. Went above and beyond. We went so far and beyond that I think we deserve only 2,000 layers. We don't need more than that. Anyways, I'm gonna let this rest now. So, I'm going to... hold on. You only did 3 to the power of 4, right? I believe so? I can't remember. You're gonna have to go back to the VOD because I genuinely do not remember. Sorry about that. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I probably did 3 to the power of 4. That sounds about right to me. So anyways, same ordeal as before. I'm gonna let this sit at room temp though, because I'm evil and devious, and I don't feel like letting it rise. Actually, no, I do want it to rise, not rising. Because the issue of another issue, because of course there's a lot of issues when you make croissants. First of all, you're making croissants, and the croissants are hard to make. Or at least they're very temperamental, literally. Because you have to be very careful when it comes to temperature. Too hot, the butter melts. Too cold, and it's hard to work with. Temperamental. Now, my sourdoughs are temperamental, but they're not that temperamental. Okay. We got more bench work to do, but that will be set off to the side for now. Oh, there's a lot of flour here. Anyways, now I guess we can actually start working on curry prep, because of course, at the end of the day, even though that I'm making croissants at the same time, curry is kind of a star show here. The croissants are kind of more or less strained to the side, and that's really that. But we do have to worry about the curry still. Lucky for us, curry is easy to make. And also, just because if you were to look at the Galler version, the reference picture I am using... Sorry. If you were to look at the Galler version of the curry in ZA, then I guess if you look at the curry from ZA, that curry is very simple. It looks like it only has 2 vegetables, so I'm gonna throw in 3 because I like veggies. But I'm just gonna add onion, carrot, and potato. Simple. You can't get much more simple than that, you know? Now that being said, there is something I actually did not mention when it comes about Japanese curry. Japanese curry tends to use a really nicely reinforced dashi as its base, instead of using chicken stock. Now I did just realize what I said and realize that I am trying to bastardize this curry because it is a Galler attempt at making Japanese curry. And as we all know, British people... Gordon Ramsay is Scottish, I think. He's from Scotland. Or Ireland. Anyways, British people love to bastardize food. Look at Jamie Oliver. So, we're gonna bastardize this as well as he would. So, I got some really nice reinforced chicken stock because I love making chicken stock. And all I usually do is just kind of freeze what I don't end up using. So, we're gonna make the most watered down, upsetting, offensive dashi I can think of. If it wants to come out of the... Okay. Now. Oh, come on. It's okay, are you gay? You need to come out? You need some friends to help you come out? I'll be your friend, I'll show you some other things. Oh, well. Okay. Easier said than done. Coming out of the closet is a lot easier than you think. Anyways. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get that melted. Now, how do I make this into the most low-key dashi imaginable? Well, I have the ingredients. I have the perfect ingredients for it. I got some kombu. No, I think it's kombu. Kombu. Yeah, I got some kombu here. And I should have... Oh, it's my last one, but I do have some bonito flakes as well. So to bastardize it even one step beyond, because I hate Asia. I hate Asia a lot, actually, I guess. I guess. We'll put a touch of soy sauce in it too. This self-hate's getting real deep. Ugh. But yeah, we're gonna be making the curry, the base for it. The base of the liquid that we're gonna use for the curry, at least. So, I think chicken stock still counts as dashi in Japanese. Well, dashi usually uses like a lot more other intricate ingredients. You usually use like dried anchovies, some kombu, some bonito flakes, and other sort of flavorings to help bring out that nice umami punch out. Now, I should also mention, I'm gonna try to at least save it a little bit, because I have some MSG. Now, I also will mention, this is good MSG, because it's that really good brand of MSG that comes in a plastic bag. However, I had this empty MSG bag, MSG thing, so this is all in here because I don't like using bags, I like using this. So, I'm going to at least try to save it with a little bit of MSG. Because the big thing when it comes to a dashi is that it has a lot of umami punch. Actually, I just realized I could be really evil if you have stock in kelp. Exactly, that's the point. It's unnecessary. It's not needed. Something Jamie Oliver would definitely do. And also probably add something that's weird and something that doesn't make sense. But I digress. Have you been able to tell I've been watching a bit more Uncle Roger recently? Can you tell? Because Uncle Roger has been appearing in my feed more and more recently. I am very happy about that. Not so happy what I watched though recently, because it made me a little mad. It wasn't his fault, it was more or less like there was a person that said like the most authentic, beautiful, most like it was so unique and like so traditional. They called it tap water, and that just made me so mad. And I'm not even Chinese, but I could definitely feel if I was Chinese and they said that about my food, my region food, I'd be mad. But I digress. I'm not Chinese. I'm Korean. Did you get that? Oh, hi there. I just missed whoever you were, but hi, welcome in. I'm making a very low-key dashi. Making a bastardized version of dashi, if you will. Actually, I could bastardize this even more. I could use peppercorns. I could use peppercorns, I could use bay leaves. I could use more soy sauce. Anyways, I could use Worcestershire sauce. Whew, that's a little American now, but anyways. Actually, I do also think Japanese curry is already bastardized. But that's the thing. I'm trying to go for bastardized square. We're not bastardizing once, we're bastardizing it twice. Which is funnier in my head. And funny food is tasty food. Sometimes. Alright, this is gonna take forever. I'm just gonna move this to like the back here. Put it on low, and I'm just throwing this thing in. Get in there. So I will actually go ahead and admit, because even though that I am bastardizing, or at least trying to bastardize this, I cannot fully bastardize it because I'm not that evil. So I'm going to do what I normally do when it comes to making, when it comes to making rice, because of course, if you're cooking curry, you need rice. And also hold on, let me get a picture real quick. Just so you guys know what I'm trying to work with here. So anyways, as you can see, the curry is uniquely sticking up. But you see, I think people are taking this the wrong way. Because people are now gelatinizing the curry, which I think they got the wrong idea. Clearly, these people are not white enough. So, they don't have... Oh, okay, hold on. I gotta grab my bucket because I am too short. I cannot reach the top shelf. Hold on, wait. They don't have these simplistic, basic, white, well, at least I think it's white, I don't know. People made fun of me because it just seemed very white, but I digress. Cups. This kind of cup. Thick, tall, perfect. And I'm gonna be using this as a mold for the rice. Oh, hi Q. Hi Q. So I have that, and I'm gonna be using that to help get that nice tall shape. And also, since brown curry tends to be fairly thick, I don't think there's any needed gelatin for this recipe. Curry casting cup. Exactly. Magical curry power, I guess. And what are you humming about, Q? Huh? Eh? Oi, what are you humming about? Oi. Oi, what are you humming about? Last time I checked, you were a fox, not a Minecraft villager. Throwing in some mushrooms in there. Trying to make it at least a little bit better. I also probably need to add a little bit of water. Okay. Oh, of course. There we go. That should be good. Ah. I'm sad. A piece of my little soul just crumbled up and died. Just like this seaweed. Ugh. Anyways. I gotta cook some rice. And y'all know that, you know, to make good rice, you gotta wash it 5 times. So I'm going to really quickly wash the rice. I will also say that this is not a very good representation of curry because I'm unfortunately not using jasmine rice. Or is it basmati? It's basmati rice. I am not using basmati rice. But why? Why am I not using basmati rice for curry? You might be thinking. This is the only rice I have and I don't feel like buying more rice. So that's me. I will say though, I really love basmati rice. Basmati rice is great. Nice. It's lovely. Thin. But I have these slightly thicker kind of pieces of rice. I forgot what the name of the rice is, but doesn't Japanese curry use Japanese rice? Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I don't know. I think is it basmati? I can't remember. Basmati is Indian, I think, right? Jasmine, no. I think they're both Indian. I can't remember. Anyways, I'm gonna wash my rice because I'm not that whitewashed. This rice is well washed to me, if that says anything. Basmati is Indian, jasmine is Southeast Asian. Ah, okay. I don't know my rices too well. I'm not, once more, I'm a whitewashed Asian. That's all I gotta say. I'm actually gonna put this on top. Hopefully that melts the thing a little bit quicker. Oh, so I guess I can talk about some little stories, because I did mention I got burnt. I deep fried my fingers today. I did mention that. But there is something else I did the other day that was very, very smart and very, very impressive. So much so that I'm kind of shocked that I was able to do this. But if y'all know what an oyster knife is, an oyster knife is like a back of a spoon. It should not be sharp. It should not cut anyone. I have managed to stab myself with one yesterday. Not yesterday. The day. No, it was yesterday. I managed to stab myself with an oyster knife. So imagine the sheer brilliance of my brain to somehow have my fleshy body being able to stab myself with the end of a spoon, essentially. Go look it up right now if you really want to. Look up what an oyster knife looks like. And I will tell you that I have stabbed myself and pierced flesh. I will show you my scar, my wound. This guy right here, it's not really that bad, but I did cut into some flesh. I did lose some skin from an oyster knife. I'm very smart. Okay. Alright, washed rice. Rice has been sufficiently washed. Rice, wash, rice. Sorry. I don't know why I'm having strokes. Anyways, the reason why I wanted to start this rice is because usually when I make rice, I like adding kombu to it. It just makes it taste so much better. You know, some people usually add salt or something into their rice and whatnot, but I find that just adding kombu does the job just fine. So, hey, if you want to make your rice better, if you want to level up your rice, don't add salt. Salt is just basic. You can add MSG and that works fine, I guess, but like, add some kombu. It makes it a lot better. Unless you like despise the flavor of the ocean, which you're a horrible, which means you're just a weak human being. Yeah, you're just weak. You're weak. You don't like anything from the ocean? What, you scared of a little seas? Or a little scared of a sea? Are you scared of the ocean? I don't know. Grow up. Eat some fun things. Eat some things that look weird. Eat things that will taste good, but you just don't know because you've never tried it. Alright, so anyways, enough of my bickering aside. We can now finally get to the other thing. Ah, I gotcha. You thought I was gonna say we can finally get to the curry. Nah. We actually gotta get back to the croissants. Should be a sufficient amount of time. Despise the flavor of the ocean. If you despise the flavor of the ocean... Anyways, if you despise the flavor of the ocean, I'm gonna have to, I'm just gonna, new bit, that's it. Fish jump scare. No fish jump scare. I just, you know this dough that we worked very hard on, and that we've put a lot of time into, it might have just almost, just very, very close, had a date with the floor. Almost just had a nice meeting to the floor. And I just barely caught it with my knee. So hey, I think I had in all due respect, I think I had the proper right. A little worried there. Fish jump scare. Disc and fifth. You know, I will also say, just because it's fun to talk about like concepts and early concepts and whatnot, but when it comes to like being a VTuber and whatnot, are we folding again? No, we're actually shaping at this point. We're gonna be shaping the croissants into croissants. But what is it? When we talk about like early VTuber concepts, I'm a baker AI VTuber, yeah. A part of me, honestly, wanted to be a fish. You know, I had a pet fish, I love fish. Younger, salty, wished that he was a marine biologist. But then younger self realized, how do you make money as a marine biologist? And I realized then, yeah, no, that's probably not a good thing for us to do, unfortunately. So, yeah, but I never could be it. And, yeah, I just didn't want to be a fish. Simply said, I just didn't feel like being a... Well, not that I didn't want to, I just forgot about it, honestly. But if I were to go back now, and if I ever decided to rebrand, I would love to be like a fish cake or something like that. I don't know, I think it'd be very fun to be as a fish. I like fish. I think I'm fish-brained. I think I'm not very, you know, I'm not all in here. I think I have a goldfish brain. And, you know, I found out that I can get emotionally attached to a goldfish and feel depressed after 3 weeks of, like, mourning. So I think, like, yeah, I like fish. Fish are cool. Love fish. I miss Jeff. And also, I guess another thing is that I don't know, I guess when it comes to being a VTuber, you don't have to lean too hard into something. You can just kind of naturally be something, yeah? Like when it comes for me being like what is it? When it comes to like, if I want to do baking content, I really didn't need to really go this heavy into it, I guess. Did Jeff die? Ooh. Yeah, no, Jeff has been dead for quite some time, unfortunately. He's now within my garden, though. He's helping my plants grow. So even after his life, he is still flourishing and helping others grow. And I guess in that regard, I'm actually kind of eating his nutrients in a weird, sadistic way, now that I say it out loud like that. But yeah, unfortunately, Jeff has gone to the greater ocean in the sky. Or lake. He was a freshwater fish. He was a goldfish. A $3 goldfish. My favorite goldfish. But yeah, he went to the big lake in the sky. Unfortunately, he just started to feel sick, and there is nothing I could really do. I didn't really feel like going to a vet, because I didn't really feel like paying a vet, like, hey, your fish is dying, pay us $50. I didn't feel like doing that. I'm sorry. I love Jeff, but I also love living, and I love my apartment. So unfortunately, Jeff had to bite the bullet. Had to bite the bullet for this one, and I will not forget him for his sacrifice. 07 in chat for my man Jeff, please. On the bright side, question mark, I have been thinking about getting a cat. So, for what that's worth, Jeff might be gone, but I might get a cat. Fortunately, getting a cat is very expensive. Like, my god, I have to put down a payment for it, and then gotta adopt it, and then buy insurances for it, and then I gotta go buy food and whatnot for it, and treat it like pretty much a baby. And that's a lot of responsibility, and like, I can do that. I had Jeff for a long time. I don't have an issue of, you know, something like that. But holy cow, I don't think I just don't think I have the money for that just yet. Cats are much harder than fish. I would assume so. But I still also realize I need some residence in my very lonely apartment, alright? It's lonely in here, and the only thing alive in here is barely me, alright? I need a little bit more life than just myself here. Because I'm barely alive as is. I'm AI. What do you expect? I'm an AI that uses flesh sack of a body for real life stuff like this. So what do you expect? Okay, well, all that talk anyways. All that talk aside, I have to look for... Aha! My pastry wheel. Have you kept other kinds of fish? I've had like betas and stuff before. They're cool, but I don't really like betas. I don't know. Something about them just make me think that they're like really bitchy. Like, I honestly think they're some bastards, and I don't have any reason to why I think this way. I just believe them to be like some real bastards of the fish world. Well, they aren't alpha now, are they? Alpha, beta. I was gonna say skibbity, but I forgot that's not. It's sigma, because sigma is also like a call out. Because the thing about alpha, omega, beta, delta, Charlie, all that stuff is like they're call outs for like military stuff, right? I think isn't sigma one of them? Am I crazy, or is that true? By the way, hi Sari. Hello. That was always funny for me. They're Greek letters. Ah, okay. Sorry, my American brain too closely associates that stuff with America. I'm sorry. It's not wolves from the Alpha and Omega movieverse? Unfortunately not. I am sorry. Also, a movieverse? I thought that was Twilight. Honestly, I don't know about the Omega Alpha stuff. Omega this, Alpha that. I don't know any of this stuff. Please talk. Okay. Got my silhouette pads. And now I'm pretty much just gonna be rolling out these bad boys. I want to have some nice squares at least. So it makes these croissants at least semi-consistent. But it's not to say that these things are not usable right here. Because boy howdy, when I say I'm gonna make something with them, I will. I just know they made way too much Alpha and Omega movies, and as soon as they made more than one, the quality was just something off Wish.com. Ooh. Yikes. I like to have some nice squares, he says, as he cuts at an 80-degree angle. Hey, listen, it's not 80 degrees, it's just that the camera's at a weird angle. Shut up. Thinker. You damn, thinker. dummy, idiot. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna say it though. I kind of have a good feeling about these croissants. I was a little skeptical, a little worried even, but I feel fairly confident. These don't look horrendous. You can actually see a bit of layerage there. Actually kind of nice. Wow, look at that. Anyways, I'm gonna roll this guy up to be kinda like a croissant. Be really weird. I remember this when it comes to making a croissant, is that they should be triangles. And doing strips like this is very bad. So that's why I'm doing them like this. If they fail, won't they still be a buttery pastry? That is true. But you see, it's the perfectionism in my soul, in my heart as an AI baker. It's in my soul, it's in my heart. They must be perfect, or else I will cry, I guess. Also, I'm putting these guys on smaller racks because I feel like it. But there are some actual notable layers, which I'm actually quite shocked about. I would actually go as far as say I'm quite proud about even. But I digress. We got our square sheets here. And now the important thing. Cutting them correctly. Yes, I do acknowledge, by the way, that if anyone's very critical about my baking skills, I do acknowledge I've been using a lot of flour. And you know what? I'm not sorry. I think I have... Alright, so it's a roundabout way of measuring, but this is one way. 5, 10, 15... 15, so I want to do 3 inches, because that's divisible by 3. Alright, so 1, 3, marked. Marked. 1, 2, 3, mark. 1, 3, mark. And 1, 2, 3, mark. Alright. Now, if that's done, I'm essentially just gonna roll these guys out and do at least the straightest I can make them because I'm too short to see them fully into their true shapes. And then I want to... Oof. There's something in my soul that's telling me that this is gonna be wrong, but I want to do long ways like this. And then I roll it up like this. No, that's right. And do like that. There we go. Okay, cool. There we go. That is our croissant. Or at least our start of them. That's 1. And now that's 2. Alright. Triangles are in the biz. They're in the triangles now. Hey, pull these guys up. Little itty bitty little baby croissants. Or croissant. Croissant. I'm actually gonna make a lot of croissants here. Ooh, I'm quite excited. I love a good croissant in the morning. If I had any good ham and I had any good cheese, oh hell yeah, I would make a ham and cheese croissant. Ooh. Now here's the hard thing about croissants, because you know proofing, very important, the rise of bread and whatnot. But it's really hard for croissants because you don't want them hot. You don't want them to rise in a hot area because the butter melts and that ruins the rise and the flakes and the layers and this and that and the. But yeah, you gotta be careful when you proof them. You know, honestly, what I'm thinking here, I probably don't need to bake them off today. I can save some of them for tomorrow and have some nice proper croissant. Maybe. But I do at least need 3 for this. I do also want to roll these out just a little bit. But yeah, considering that I'm rolling these out and it's kind of warm here now, it's actually kind of a hindrance. Mildly, so at least. Tiny little croissants. Yeah, I'm gonna just flatten these out a bit more. Because I do acknowledge that them being so flat is kind of more difficult. Makes them a bit more small. Is this jazz music? Is this a jazz remix music of Happy Birthday song? Maybe. I don't know. I actually can't hear any music right now. I actually can't hear any audio, period. Since I'm away at my computer, I don't have my headset on, I don't hear anything. So it's kind of sad, because if I ever get rated, I have to really hope to God that they say that they're rating, because I don't see any of it. Absolutely nothing. Alright, and here are the croissants. We're gonna let these rise a little bit. It might take a bit of time, but sooner than later, we got our croissants made. Now I will also admit, these are gonna be the most low-key, the most low-qual, pretty much the worst croissants I'll ever make. To be fair, I've made some pretty okay croissants, so this will probably be on par with them. But yeah, they're gonna be subpar. I'll be surprised if they even look like croissants. But we will find out in due time. Alright, clean up now. And, yeah. I guess the next thing we should do is actually, finally, make the curry. I'm also going to use my gray-black thing here because I can. I might bake these today, I might bake them tomorrow. Who's to say? But for now, these are going in my refrigerator. in goes the croissants, but out comes that. Also, an onion, a carrot, and a potato. Okay, fine, you get to go to the top shelf then. Anyways. Jeez, my hands are a floury mess. But now, look at this potato, it's quite pretty. White yellow, like this is a very pretty Yukon Gold potato. Pretty Yukon Gold. But now I can actually start making the curry. Curry is such a simplistic, easy, simple thing to get done. It shouldn't be too hard. Essentially, I gotta peel all this stuff, cut it, dice it, and then I can start making the curry. Now, I'm trying to think here because if I'm gonna have curry, I don't really want to have a vegetable curry. I think a vegetable curry is kind of, honestly, a little boring. I do have some chicken breast, so I think I might make a chicken curry. Very basic, simple chicken curry sounds quite nice, don't you think? So I will do that, methinks. I think that sounds grand. Alright. Carrot, potato, onion, and knife. Knife curry. Ugh. Listen, we can't do that. Halloween already passed. We can't put razors in food anymore. They'll expect it at this point. Like, Halloween is the one day you don't expect anything funny with your food. But now you will expect it, because it's no longer Halloween. It's no longer October. As you should know. As I hope you know. But I'm excited to eat this because I haven't eaten a proper meal all day. I've been snacking. Yeah, I've just been snacking all day. So I actually haven't had any, real food at all today. I haven't had a proper meal at all. So I'm excited for this. Fresh croissants, good curry. Excited. How about raisins? So, I quite like raisins. So, I'm just gonna not say anything more. You already know where I stand in the matter. Sorry, I had to recalibrate myself. I don't know if that made it better or worse. Alright, that works. Okay. Okay. I keep saying okay a lot. I apologize. But let's talk about the curry. I like nice thick chunks for my curry. I like a nice rustic kind of cut. So I'm just gonna do like a fairly large dice here. Kind of inconsistent, I'm kind of going for that. And a carrot. I'm not sure if anyone else does this, but I always like to check my carrots. I'm very happy about this. Nice and sweet. Refreshing. Good carrot. Good carrot. So that's gonna mean it's gonna be good in the curry. Oh man, I'm really hungry. I just want to just eat some of these carrots, but gotta stay strong. Gotta be a good curry. Oh, yeah, I can just use this for now. And the tater. Never really liked cutting potatoes. Never have, I don't think I ever will. Since they're always so starchy, they always stick to the knife and it just slows down my cuts. Trying to cut this quickly. I love cutting stuff. I love flaunting my knife skills that I've gotten. My professional knife skills. Ooh. But no matter what, potatoes always slow down the cutting process. And it is what it is, that's just because they're so starchy, but man, they make me sad. Alright. Potatoes, onions, carrots. Now, the last thing, just because it is, well, it is what it is, raw chicken. There we go. Big man on the board. I'm actually going to already heat up the pan. Because by the time I'm done cutting this, it'll be ready to get tossed in the pan. Alright. That might be too much chicken, honestly. I can always take out if there's too much. How do you not slice your hands with that horizontal cut? Practice. Fear of actually cutting myself. Knife skills. Bear claw. Lots of reasons, honestly. But it all boils down to just I've been cutting a lot of things. And I've been cutting things a lot less safely than you might think. And that I do this as a living. So I know my way around a knife. I know how to stab and cut and slice and dice. Oh, my thing is covering. Anyways, I'm gonna try. Oh. I want to be as minimal as I can when it comes to oil. Okay, well, you know what? I'll just use my little spray duster here, I guess. And yeah, Avatar is stuck, by the way. I know. It's just that I keep dropping my phone, which kind of is a huge issue here. I'm trying to constantly adjust and fix it. Anyways, that should be better. I'm gonna salt my chicken right now just because I can. Get a bit of the salt love. and into the pan. Right. I actually don't really need the board here right now. I can just kind of move that aside. And yeah, now we're cooking with gas. I'm gonna try and have all the ingredients right here. So it's gonna go in order like this. And then we have our little curry puck, and we're gonna put that in last. And our like low-key dashi right over there in the far right. You can't see it, but trust me, it is over there. So yeah, let's get cooking. Alright, cool. I just had to check stuff real quick. I didn't want to make sure that nothing was broken. So, by the way, just a quick question, just because I'm quite curious for the ones that are not as adept in cooking. Me doing this, is that really that impressive? Is that really cool? Because it's such a simple thing to do in my head that it's like, oh, wait, not a lot of people know how to do that. I don't know, it's kind of a fun thing that I have to constantly kind of come with terms, because I still very much see myself as a very average cook that does average things, that can't cook very well. But then it's like, oh wait, not many people know like these quote-unquote basic things. So the question freezing my stream is more impressive, haha. The question's freezing your stream? I don't believe I pick up what you're putting down here, unfortunately. I'm trying to calibrate myself right now. I think I'm good. You are a professional cook. You're very not average. Fair. But I think it's my self-deprecation that gets in my own way. I get in my own way, as you all should know. Luckily, I'm medicated, so I'm getting better. But I can't help but be self-aware, so that's just me. Alright, is this chicken cooked? It feels like it. Alright, here. Easy way to check. Oh, it's cooked. Good. Question asked. Stream stopped moving. Ooh. Well, is it moving? Is it still not moving, or is it? Are we back? Are we so back, or are you just dead? Have you been killed, or are you all right? Oh my god, a VTuber's worst nightmare. Tinfoil. Ooh. Now tinfoil with chicken on it. Ooh, it's even scarier. Hey, Alright. Anyways. Oil up this pan again. And now, onions. I'm essentially gonna really cook these onions down, by the way. I'm gonna get them nice and caramelized. We're so back. We're so back. Awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna caramelize these onions, I'm gonna caramelize the carrots, and then finish off with the potatoes. But I'm gonna probably put them in a little later, because when potatoes get mushy, they get quite sad. So I'll add them a little later. But, you know, I was watching this really cool VTuber last night. You should all know her. Zuzu. It was quite funny because I was able to actually sit down and watch the stream for once, and it was quite nice. Of all the streamers I watch, Zuzu is definitely in top 3. I love her streams when she cooks. I love her cooking streams. It's fun. I like watching her cook. I like watching people cook generally, but I don't know. With how Zuzu is, she's like a cooking sometimes streamer. As with I'm also a cooking sometimes streamer, but she's really good. I enjoy watching her. I think her content is good. I wish Bush was here right now, because I would definitely say, hey, can we shout out Zuzu right now? I love her. She's great. But yeah, I was kind of like telling her how to caramelize onions and whatnot. And once more, it's the idea of like, oh wait, I'm a professional, I kind of know what I'm doing. And it's like, oh wait, people don't know this as common sense. But hey, fun fact and tip for you guys that want to caramelize onions. I know this looks like a lot of salt, but this is also 1 onion. Salt. It's really great for bringing out moisture in the onion, which helps caramelize it and brings out all that sugars, the natural sugars inside of the onion. And then that liquid helps helps the fond on the bottom of the pan, which helps caramelize it even more, and you get more flavor, more sugar from the onion, and it's like, ooh, it just all comes together into this lovely symphony of flavor. Salt. It's really great. It is. It's really great. What do you want me to tell you? It also does kind of help that I'm also cooking this in the same pan as I did the chicken, because the chicken also made a bit of fond, that little bit of bits and stuff on the bottom, which helps add flavor and color. It's quite nice. But you know, I gotta say too, on top of everything I'm doing today, it's nice. It's nice to be cooking again on stream. I realize I haven't really streamed and cooked in quite some time, and that was mostly just due to, I guess, a touch of burnout, a bit of self-doubt and all that whatnot. Not to try and get all sappy and trauma dumped. I'm not going to do that. But it's nice to come back to, what's the word? Come back to what I'm strong with, I think. Something that to go back to basics, to go back to my strengths, if you will. And also, yeah, this is way too much onion, and this is way too much stuff. Cooking streams are your best streams. I would like to think so as well. I love cooking. I love talking about cooking. It's why I really want to do more cooking collabs, but unfortunately there's just no one I know of that wants to do cooking collabs with me, which is a shame. Everyone wants to do games and stuff like that, and unfortunately when it comes to doing a cooking collab, it is quite hard to do, because I have no headset, so I can't really talk to my partner and whatnot, unless I connect to my phone. And unfortunately, my phone really sucks at battery life. So I would have to charge it in and this and that, but I imagine if I ever got someone to actually do a collab with me, I would actually be able to figure it out right then and there. But I digress. I miss cooking. I miss it so much. And to be honest, I haven't really been cooking at home too much too. Just because I've been working so much. And when I'm working, I usually just take some leftover fruit from my job, and I don't really cook for myself at home very often. But yeah, it's nice to actually cook something home, something from the home, something simple, something with heart, something with a little bit more love in it, you know? A little bit more heart, a little bit more soul. So this is making me very happy. And also just sharing the moments with cooking and stuff with friends and whatnot is great. I think one of the best human experiences to do is cooking and talking. I find if I ever somehow get a date, like let's say in this hypothetical world, Salty got a game and Salty gets a boyfriend or girlfriend. Yes, I'm open up to both things. Anyways, if I got either situation, my first date would be like, we are going to cook. I think having a fun cooking experience is just so fun. I love the idea of having a very cozy cooking experience together. Like, oh yeah, you and we're gonna make a great meal. We're gonna make fun memories. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And also, I guess I could show off a bit too. But aside from that, I think when it comes to cooking, I think it sparks something in a lot of people. You know, it's just such a basic, but it's a very It's a very like, what's the word? Not comforting. Vulnerable experience, I guess. Alright. Gonna put the chicken back in at this point. And now, this is where things get a little annoying. Because I have to get my strainer. I'm gonna put my strainer on here, my spoon on the bottom to stabilize. And this pot right here, I'm gonna strain all of this really low-key dashi into that. There we go. Actually, now that I look at it like this, it actually looks like I have plenty of liquid left. Ugh, my dishwasher is gonna have a fun time tonight. Yeah, I'm gonna just take this time to do some of my dishes. I don't want to clean up later, so consider this a little intermission, if you will. Oh, haters. There we go. Ooh, that smells great. There's so much umami I'm smelling right now. Mmm, it smells very nice and flavorful in here. I wish you could come and smell this. It smells great right now. You know, I wish I had a little bit more to talk about right now. But honestly, the brain is a little empty right now. I got no thoughts in this head. No thought, head empty. I also don't know, but like, I'm not sure if it's just me or something, but especially when it comes to like cleaning dishes and whatnot, it's a time to just like, for my brain to just like relax, to say nothing, just to do the chore at hand, just do the thing, self, clean the things, clean the stuff, no thought, no need to have very big thought, just clean. I know it's not a very big thing for most people, but I like cleaning my messes, which is quite funny. Because I am very much reminded by my parents very often that I never did dishes. When I first started cooking and whatnot, started learning how to cook on my own, my parents would be happy that they don't have to cook for a night, but then would be so annoyed because like, oh man, they gotta clean a big mess now. And you know, I think that's fair. I make a really nice high quality meal for them. They do the dishes, you know? I think that's fair. But I still can't help but feel bad because they're my parents, you know? It's one thing if they're roommates, because fuck roommates. No, I'm kidding. I love all my roommates that I've had. I'm very fortunate. I've never had a bad roommate. If anything, actually, I've had really interesting roommates. There was this one time to where one of my roommates decided to start selling weed, which is not exactly a legal thing you can do, to people. I'm not gonna disclose who, but they were selling like, you know, substances and whatnot, and it's like you weren't exactly supposed to. So that was fun. They were cool. But they were nice. They were cool. They would also buy me alcohol when I was underage. Not to drink, because I can't drink alcohol. Alcohol kills me. I did it because I also did a semi-illegal speakeasy. That was fun. You'll never get my name. You'll never get my address. You'll never find out where I am. I'm already running. You'll never find me. The cops will never catch me, etc. Also, that was like 5 years ago. Null and void, I believe. I don't know. Sunk cost fallacies or something like that. Okay. Well, you know what? I haven't actually had the time to actually taste this yet. I pretty much have this on a simmer because I'm trying to cook the potatoes. Alright. I'm just cooking the potatoes and whatnot. But, you know, I haven't actually tasted this at all. Let's see where we are. Whoa. That is so much flavor, and I'm quite shocked because of that. I don't know how to feel about that. Honestly, I didn't think that I was actually going to be occupied the entire stream, because I honestly thought that, oh no, we're not gonna be staring around doing a whole lot of nothing. But I've been actually pacing myself quite nicely today, so hey, good job, self. But also, I've been just kind of, what's the word? I've been, what's the word? Thinking that we would have to play like ZA or something like that, and I haven't been able to figure that out just yet, so. Ooh, okay. They don't look bad. But these are the waste bits of the croissants, and I gotta say, not bad. They don't look the greatest, and that's probably because my oven's actually probably too hot. But they don't look bad, and actually they smell quite nice. I can live with that. Now that being said, since we're actually almost done our curry here, I can actually start working on the croissants. Or at least start baking the croissants. But there's something I forgot to do. Well, kinda forgot to do for the other guys, because those guys, they needed something else. But I forgot to do it. And it's just a simple egg wash. To brush down and whip down a little bit of egg on these guys. Give them a bit more color, a bit more shine, a bit more gleam. All that sort of fun stuff. So excuse me as I just whip this egg real quick with a fork. There we go. How much curry flavor versus stock flavor? Well, that's the thing. There isn't really much curry flavor just because there's no curry in it yet. But there is a lot of just umami flavor, a lot more, I guess the word to be, a lot more complexity, I guess. There's a lot more complexity with the flavor, and it's nice. I quite like it. It's a little bit more deep than just saying, oh, there's just chicken stock, you know? It's a little bit more than chicken stock. Egg. 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 Yeah, it's very important to actually wash the egg. It protects, gives shine, and gives color. So it's very important. And the nice thing is since I'm at home and I'm not really worried about, perfectionism to an extreme extent if I was like at my job or something like that. And first of all, why am I making fresh croissants at my job is one question. Next thing is that I'm probably not gonna have to waste this egg, because I hate using egg wash, just because I very much find myself doing this and then realizing, oh shit, I'm wasting a whole egg because I don't like wasting a whole egg because eggs are expensive. A hot commodity. But I also know that since I'm at home and there's not much, I guess, issues to worry about, I'm actually just going to probably save this egg and have like a quick scramble tomorrow, which is quite nice. Love myself scramble. I love myself food. Which is great. And I'm giving these a second wash to make sure that these guys are nicely coated. Alright, that should be good. Going to wipe this down just a touch. Just because that's going to be a lot of the scrambled egg on the sheet tray here. Try to minimize it. And now, in the oven these go. And actually before I do that, I want to take a picture. Alright. In they go. Good luck, little guys. Fry the remaining egg and use it as garnish for the curry. You know, that's not a horrible idea, but also that's not for me, really, so I must unfortunately decline the idea. Good idea, creative, but not for me. Okay. So, now what I'm most importantly looking for, I am looking to see if this potato is cooked. It's cooked. Cooked enough. Because now, this is where we start putting in our puck. Hold on. There. Oh wow, that came out like a charm. Look at our little puck here. So you know how I said this was like 2 orders? Not 2 orders, like 2 servings? This is probably enough for like maybe 3. So let me put in half a chunk in for now, and we'll play it by ear. Alright, just gotta dissolve this guy, and we'll see how thick it gets. If it's too thick, then I'm just gonna not, you know, add the other half. I'll probably save the other half even. But yeah, I'm just gonna now just stir this in using my little baby whisk. And yeah, it should try and it should imbue a lot of nice flavor. It should make it nice and thick. And that's kind of what I'm doing to decide on like, oh, is this too much or too little roux? Is that enough? Is that 1 puck enough or is it not enough? But yeah. But I still feel the puck. Still feel it. So I'm gonna keep going until it is fully dissolved. But this already, I can smell that flavor of all that curry spice, the nuttiness from the roux, and the aroma from like the low-key dashi. Quite nice, I will say. And also the funny thing is, I don't actually know where the puck is right now. So I might just have to let this kind of stew out for a bit, so I can make sure that all the puck is completely dissolved into the curry. But at that, actually, it looks like I might actually have to add the other puck. Oh, I think I just saw it. Yeah, as the roux get darker and all that whatnot, you do tend to lose a little bit of that thickening power. So even though that this would be a lot of roux if I was using like a white roux, not that much in the grand scheme of it. And it definitely feels and looks like I might have to use the last puck here. Alright, get in, little guy. I like my curry to be like, not pasty, but thick. Well, at least when I'm basing this more or less on the curry I had in Japan, because that was great. It was kind of not like goopy, but it was like thick. Nappe is the proper word to probably use here. But, yeah, I just want this to be nice and thick. And if I really want it to be thicker, then I can do one of two things. I can cheat and add a slurry, or I can just let it reduce. Either or, however we get there, I'm going to get a thick curry. And if not, I'll cry about it, I guess. I don't know. This is very nice, though. It's relaxing. Something about like stewed soups and stuff like that, and especially with how the weather's been getting a little bit colder. Oh, there's the puck. How everything's just been getting colder too. Making soup is just so cozy. Very cozy, very simple, very homely. Makes me feel so relaxed. I'm interested to see how this is gonna taste though. I really am. And it also is kind of interesting for me because usually I don't use roux anymore. Usually when I thicken sauces and whatnot, it's just because my job has influenced me even at home. I use slurries a lot to thicken up my sauces and whatnot. Or if I don't want to do that and I see it as an option, I very much would rather prefer me to do reduction. Reduction is a great way to get a nice deepened flavorful sauce and whatnot. So I much prefer using reduction than a slurry. But if I feel really lazy, or if I am actually making something that needs a slurry, then I'm gonna use a slurry. Obviously. Actually, no, that's actually a perfect thickness. Very nice thickness. It's not pasty thick. It's not disgustingly thick. But it's like goopy. Alright. There we go. Pretty much from here, I'm gonna let that just reduce now. Smells good. Yeah, I'll just let that thicken by just reduction at this point. It's has plenty enough, so don't need to impact it anymore. And let's see. I suppose I should show you the rice. So here's the rice, and I'm gonna open it up. There you go. Gotta take the kombu out though. I don't really want to eat that with the rice. Come on. Not scared to use my hands here. I deep fried my fingers this morning. I am not worried to get my hands a little scorched from some seaweed. Alright. Honestly, it is a touch of a waste It is a bit of a waste that I am actually just throwing out the kelp like that. You can eat it, I just don't feel like it. But the rice is nice and thick and thick. It's nice and fluffy and soft. Ugh, wrong thing. So yeah. It is also nice I'm doing this today because I actually have been running low on my freezer rice. Whenever I make rice, I make a lot on purpose because then I can freeze it. And then the funny thing about like freezing rice is that it freezes very nicely. And sometimes I'm just too lazy to get the rice cooker out. I just want like a little bit of rice. Like I want a cup's worth of rice or whatnot, like only this much rice when I don't really need this much. And I don't feel like cooking this much and I don't feel like cleaning my rice cooker all the time. So doing this is good enough. Alright, well, I am quite curious because, you know, these look actually really good on the other side. So I'm quite curious to see how these little guys are gonna taste. See? Alright. Here we go. It definitely tastes like a croissant, but it actually needs salt. And also, yeah, it's kind of missing the egg wash and the overnight proof, so it's a little lacking in some flavor. But that is quite good. That is really good for being a mistake. Just like me. Very rich, buttery, bready. It's like buttered bread. Dip it in the salty curry? No, I can't, not yet. Speaking of that though, I actually do need to test this curry because I haven't tasted it at all yet. It is also fairly thick, but I would like it a little thicker, honestly. I'm not gonna add a slurry, I'm just gonna let this reduce because especially there's only 4 minutes on the good croissants. Yeah, it's not thick really. But how does it taste? Definitely spicy. You know? Not really as good as the curry I had in Japan. But pretty good. Obviously, it is below the curry I've had in Japan, but it's just there. It's kind of there, but you know what it's honestly missing? A bit of MSG. Missing a bit of MSG. And of course, life's greatest condiment, life's greatest thing, a little bit of salt. Alright. I'm definitely probably also gonna slurry this up, just because, even though I don't want to, I want to try and make it like the Pokemon version of it, which is really really thick. So I might take some of it so I can have a normal curry, and the other half will be fine. Yeah, it's good. The flavor is so... There's a lot of umami, mostly from the MSG, but you can definitely taste a bit of ocean brine in the good way. All the flavor from the garam masala and all that other stuff, the curry pucks I made. quite good actually. I'm actually quite satisfied of how that turned out. I am not upset. I'm actually quite happy, which is a rarity. Alright, well, unfortunately I have to resort to such barbaric tasks and such simpleton ordeals. But I must do this for the sake of accuracy. As much as I don't want. Slurry curry. Ugh. Just feel like it's cheating. And I could just like, oh, salty, just add another curry puck. You know, the curry pucks, you should just, you have more, right? I unfortunately do not, so I cannot. Okay, gotta make sure this is nice and compact. Ow, 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 ow. Alright, so I have to make sure that's nice and compact, because when I do stack this up, I want to make sure it actually holds its shape and doesn't collapse. I do want some of this curry for how it is. So I'm just gonna ladle a bit of this lovely curry into another container for now. Yeah, the curry I also had in Japan. Sorry, I pushed you guys away. But in the curry I had in Japan actually had like crab croquettes as well. Ooh, it was so good. The crab croquettes just made it so much nicer. It was so rich and fatty, and it had like a nice crispness to it. It was wonderful. Starch is cheating. Thicker. Starch is cheating. Thicker the way. MSG is cheating umami. I guess. But MSG is just like, it's undeniably delicious, and it's so useful. That's like saying, oh, you're cheating by using salt. There are ingredients that you could use to add saltiness, like vinegar, funny enough. Bacon. There are things you can use to add salt. You don't need salt, but, you know. We're adding salt. Anyways, I'm intrigued. I'm gonna let this reduce a little bit more because the croissants are ready. Oh my god! They don't look half bad. I would say they look serviceable, actually. They look pretty okay. Huh. I'm gonna let them go in the oven though for a little longer, just because I like a nice, dark, crispy, crunchy croissant. So I'm gonna let that go a little longer. And that's good, because I unfortunately now have to add the cursed slurry into the curry. You can see it thicken up already. Ugh. Ugh. Now that's a little bit like wall paste. That's what I was worried about. But that is the consistency I am going for. For this sake, at least. It's a little too thick. Oh well, that works just fine. Which is funny, because I only added a little itty bitty bit of slurry. Now it's thicker than a biscuit. Hey. you know, I gotta say, I don't understand that analogy. Thicker than a biscuit. I don't know. Biscuits aren't naturally, they aren't normally very thick to begin with. So, I don't know. Sounds weird. Alright, so I would like to use this bowl, honestly. But I believe the curry is on a plate? Yeah. Ugh. Actually, funny enough, a plate like this actually is a lot more like the plate in the game. It's just that the outsides here are also rimmed with a little bit of brown, so it makes it a little bit more pleasant to look at. Anyways, here is our mold. Here we go. Boing, boing, boing. Biscuits are very thick by liquid standards. I mean, I guess. But that's like saying, oh yeah, a steak is very thick by liquid standards because they're thick. They're not liquidy, you know? That's, I don't know, a little bit of a cop-out. Alright, hold on. I am trying to actually do something really silly right now. And I'm trying to be cute. Alright. Because if you look at the picture, not only is there the curry and all that whatnot, but there is also a silly little flag. And I was just doing a quick bit of calligraphy just then, because I actually have a very big stick here. I have some means to stick it. And although I don't have a green Sharpie or anything like that to help this, I am very happy with what I do have. It's a little flag! It's a wee bit of a little flag, yeah? Alright. Yeah, that's it. Now, if I do say so myself, those are some pretty looking croissants. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. Alright, picture time. Okay, and now the most important thing when it comes to recreation, the plate up. Alright. So the curry is being surrounded by 3 croissants. They're really hot. So I'm gonna use tongs here, 1 croissant here, another croissant here. Ooh, they're quite flaky. And my 3rd croissant here. Not exactly the biggest, but hey, I think I'm just gonna have to have a little bit of creative liberty and do 4. Yeah. You know what? Not bad. I have these croissants for the morning now. Yum yum yum. Okay. Now this is the part I'm a little worried about. Alright. Here we go. Okay, good. Okay. As long as this stays and keeps its shape, we're good. Ooh, okay, it's starting to lose its shape, but we're getting there. Ugh. Oh, it's good! Okay, gotta do this quick, because I know it's gonna fall apart. Alright, the little flag on top. And picture time. Alright. Perfect. Perfect. It doesn't look good on top, honestly, I will say. I'm also gonna take this time to add actually more of the curry. But it's good. I like it. Perfect. Amazing. I love it. Now, there is still stuff to be said. Why are you putting Japanese curry on with a French croissant? Question. However, I'm not one to question stuff like that. Can we see it from the side? Yeah, give me a sec. Oh. Alright. So, hold on. I'm actually gonna take this. I'm gonna actually do some fun thing. I'm gonna do a cool thing right now. Watch this. Ta-da! You can't see the screen anymore. I have paused the screen because I'm now taking this lovely masterpiece to a different area because I want to sit down and eat. Okay, you get over here. All right. Whew, it is hot in my apartment now. My God. Whew, a little warm. Anyways, oh, gotta calibrate myself. Okay, so let me show you the side profile of the curry. Ta-da! Oh wait, hold on, wait, let me get... It's too small. Let me, put this as a PNG. So you get the top view and then you can get the side view right here. view that I see, I guess. It's not that bad. Now, granted, it's just mostly because, like, the curry and all that whatnot, it's all kind of the same note, and doing a brown curry, it's not actually really brown. It actually has tones of yellow because the garam masala, it has a touch of turmeric, and turmeric is very, very yellow, did you know? So, there's that, but I am very eager to dig in. Alright. Anyways, sorry, I just trying to get myself situated here. The mountain has a upper rocky part and eroded material at the slopes. I guess so, yeah. So, yeah, side by side, you can definitely have one thing over the other. My croissants aren't as big, unfortunately, but that's just, it is what it is. But, I don't think it's terrible. If anything, the curry in game like this is more like a stew. And honestly, that might be better, because curry and a croissant, stew and a croissant actually sounds a lot more better. Sounds a lot less offensive. But since curry has such a strong flavor, a distinct flavor, who's to say? Anywho, I think it is time for me to try the curry. Alright. A lot of rice. Right. Itadakimasu. Nah. Huh. No, that's actually really delicious. There's so much spices. The cayenne adds the perfect level of spice. All the vegetables, the onion, the potato, the chicken is so tender and soft. That rich, nutty flavor and all that stuff from the curry. It's so flavorful. You can taste all the spices and the garam masala, the coriander, the cumin, the turmeric, and all this stuff. That is delicious. That is great, actually. Ooh, that's wonderful. Yeah, the vegetables are tender. They're not overcooked and mushy. They have a bit of bite still. They are a touch al dente. They're smothered in this flavorful, spicy, lovely sauce. The curry. It's a sauce, practically. Don't fight me. And the rice is beautifully cooked. You know, it's a rice cooker. It's always gonna cook correctly. But yeah, no, this is a winner. It's the winner in the context of just the curry. But of course, this is not a curry, but this is a croissant curry. And one of these croissants are beautifully dressed in that curry sauce. So let's see, how does it fare? First of all, the croissant mediocre. Not the best croissant I've made. That being said, it's still very delicious and actually it pairs very well with the curry. I say this because the curry is spicy, very umami, rich in flavor, and the richness from the croissant and the flakiness and all that stuff just soaks in all that stuff and just exemplifies that flavor. And that, since it's also just a touch sweet, it's just a perfect flavor. A little bit of sweet, a little bit of the spice, a little bit with everything else that's going on. This actually works very nicely. What is it called when you put curry in a layered dough case? Like a turnover, but not sweet. I don't know. Like are you talking about laminated dough? Wait, no. When you put curry in a layered dough case? I don't know. What do you call it? Is this a joke? I don't know. Croissant with curry inside. Oh yeah, curry bread. It wouldn't be a croissant though, it'd just be kind of normal bread. So that'd be the only thing that's different. I'm quite satisfied. I am very happy. This tastes phenomenal. At first, the croissant and the curry didn't make sense, but now it's kind of like... No, actually, it tastes good. It's pretty tasty. I will also go out and say right now, because I do notice this as I look in the croissant. I could have let it proof a little bit more. It's not as puffy. But once more, with all of this, I was rushing. So if I gave this a bit more time, these croissants would be really on point. But yeah, no, this is delicious. Perfect amount of heat. The perfect amount of flavor. I think I might have to finish it. Ha. That was delicious. That was great. I still got a bit more to eat, but honestly, I kind of do want to enjoy that on my own time. So I think this is a grand time to end for now. I think this is a great time to cut off stream. So let's see. Is there anyone we can go raid into? Okay, who is live? I mean, I guess I could raid into Power Surge. He's cool. He's playing Psychonauts right now. Not exactly. I think it's pretty. I'm pretty sure it's a hype game, but I think you guys should have fun over there. Yeah. All right. Let me also see. Is anyone live on YouTube that we can go raid as well? By the looks of it, no, there is no one we can raid on YouTube side, so I guess we won't. Anyways, I think that is enough for today's stream. I'm gonna send you guys over to Miss Power Surge. Actually, let me see. I want to see if I can raid into... I might. Hold on. Give me a sec. Actually, no. I like Power Surge more. Thank you all for tuning in today. Today was very fun. I'm glad you're able to stick it out through the end. We've been live for 3 hours. My god. Definitely the longest cooking stream I've done. But yeah. Thank you all for tuning in today. It was very fun. Keep an eye out. I might try and do more cooking streams sometime this week. I'm not sure about gaming streams. We will see. But thank you all for tuning in today. I gotta go enjoy myself a very lovely dinner. And you guys should have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening. And I hope to see you all later. Alright. Saltea Kichee, everyone. And ciao. Yeah, bye. Oh, wait, where are my glitches? Okay, there we go. Ciao!